Hey everybody, Justin here with bearzapperbbq, where we cover everything from grilling to smoking and everything in between. We got another good one here for you. Today I'm going to be making a pork belly slab form, making burnt ends, but I'm keeping the skin on. So I'm going to cut them into 1.5 inch squares, but not all the way through, because I want to make crispy burnt ends. And I'm going to use that on an egg and cheese sandwich, almost like bacon. Really pumped for it. Stay tuned.
All right, everybody, welcome back. So we have ourselves an awesome looking pork belly here. Has not been cut yet. That's just the lines of the cookie sheet or the cooling rack. What I'm going to do is now, and this is skin on, so we're going to make some crispy, awesome pork belly. So I'm just going to take a small knife and I'm just going to start poking some holes across the down and across the skin of this. It'll allow the air to kind of seep in and really crisp up the skin while the pork belly smokes. And we're just going to go kind of back and forth, making some holes. It doesn't have to be perfect because we're going to catch it the other way as well. And now we'll go along. All right. Not sure if you can see that, but we have a lot of little tiny holes in the skin. Over here as well, I just want to make a couple more. We really want this to get nice and crisp. Awesome. That looks great. So we're going to let this sit out for just a little bit. We're going to let it air dry. Then we are going to flip it over. We're going to put some Lanes Spellbound on there. We're going to let that cook in the big green egg for a couple hours. Then we're going to use the kind of sweet sauce from Lanes as well. And we're going to hopefully have the crispiest, most awesome pork belly that we've ever had. I'm really excited for this. That skin looks awesome. Sweet. Awesome. Stay tuned. Alrighty, so we've let this sit in the fridge for about 24 hours now. Skin's drying out real nice. What we're going to do is we're going to add 1 beaten egg white to 1 cup of salt, and we're going to put it right across the skin here. We're going to help it dry out a little bit more, and then we're going to throw it on the smoker. Actually, before we put the salt on the skin layer, we're just going to make some slices. We don't want to slice all the way down to the skin. We just want to get it to the skin so that it holds together nicely. Again, we're getting pretty close to the end. And as it gets thinner, you got to be really careful that you don't slice all the way through. But we have, this one was a little, oh yeah, look at that. Right to the skin. Good slicing. Now we're going to do it the long way. It's really helpful to do this with a sharp knife. Just watch your fingers, be really careful. see how we did. Look at this. Oh. That looks awesome. So what that's going to allow us to do is it's going to allow the Spellbound to really penetrate through the various levels of the meat, and again it'll allow the sauce and the seasoning to really get through everywhere, including the backside of the skin, which is exactly what we want. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Looking so good. Beautiful. Way better. All right. Just gonna wash my hands. And now we're going to sprinkle some LanesBBQ Spellbound. We're just going to sprinkle it all over this. There we go. Sprinkle it all over. Let it get in between the cuts where we made. We don't want it on the skin. We just want it on the top side of the skin, you know, that's the side that's down right now. So if we do get some on there, we want to make sure that we kind of brush that off as best we can. Flip it around to get the other side. All right, we're gonna let that sit for a little bit. Then we're gonna flip it over and we're gonna do the salt mixture. Salt and egg white mixture. What that's going to do is when it smokes, it's going to create a real nice layer of salt. It's going to dry the skin out really nicely. But the egg white will actually help to remove the salt after. It'll make it really, really nice and easy to remove. It should just flake off like it's you know, a small, you know, just like a thin layer of salt that just comes right off. So it'll be super easy, super good. Can't wait for this. I'm gonna let this sit for about 15-20 minutes and then we're gonna throw on the salt. All right, so we've made our mixture of 1 egg white and 1 cup of kosher sea salt, or actually, I'm sorry, all natural sea salt. Looks like a sort of melted snowball. We're going to flip this over. We're going to rub off any of the seasoning that got onto the skin. And now we're just going to put a thin layer of this salt mixture on the skin. And this is just for, yes, it adds a little saltiness to the skin, but it really, ultimately, this is just for helping the skin dry out while we smoke it. And it just adds like a drying agent to it and soaks up all the moisture. And like I said, this will peel right off nicely. If you put your finger or your hand right along the side and just push some salt against it, it'll really form a nice coverage of the area. Now we're going to let this sit for a bit, and then we're going to throw it on the smoker at about 275. We're going to smoke it up. This should really dry out that skin like I had mentioned, but also and crisp it up. And then we're gonna watch it. Beautiful. All right, so we are at about 150 degrees Fahrenheit on the Egg Genius, as well as on the temperature gauge up here. So I'm gonna start cranking this bad boy down, just so we don't get too hot too quick. Beautiful. And let it continue to heat up. All right, so we are at about 250. Let's open this up. We've got our pork belly here. I'm gonna place this on the grill. And we are going to start cooking this. Guessing it'll probably take about 3.5 hours. All right, the belly's on. Covered in salt, covered in Lane's Spellbound. Let's let this smoke. All right, so we are right around 190 internal here. This salt needs to come off, and it should come off nice and easy. See how it just kind of chunks off? That's exactly what we wanted. Oop. That's not what we wanted, but that's all right. Easy peasy cleanup. So the skin on this, we're just gonna brush off the remaining salt. There's still gonna be some in the skin, but that's okay. Skin is still soft, so what we wanna do is we wanna get a knife and poke some more holes in this. So we're just gonna take, actually, you know what we could do? Wow, super tender. It's going right through. So that means the burnt ends are probably just about ready. Let's poke some more holes though. Cool. Gonna let it smoke for just a few more minutes. Oh yeah, that's ready. Get out of here, salt. All right. Let this smoke for just a few more minutes, and then we're gonna take it off and sauce it. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this from the egg and sauce it. Just grab a spatula.
I'm gonna put this right in this container here and take a look at this. Look how awesome the coloring is on this. Huh, this is gonna be great. So now I'm going to take the Lane's Kinda Sweet and it's Kinda Sweet. Perfect name. So we're just gonna put it all over the meat side. Just gonna rub it in nicely, make sure it gets in between everything. We want all sides of this to be nice and covered. This piece even just fell off. That is so good. Ooh, it's hot though. All right. Cool. So now I'm going to cover this for a little bit longer. Let it cook just a little bit longer. Get it nice and tender, more tender, and then we're going to crisp up the outside. Stay tuned. All right, so I vented them a little bit just to kind of get them a little bit more tender. I mean, I'm covering right through. So these are totally ready to come off. I'm gonna toss this right into this pan. These are good. So we're in there. We are looking awesome. Now we're just gonna crisp up the that bottom layer. I'm gonna throw it in the broiler for a few minutes. We're gonna crisp it up real quick and it's gonna be incredible. Look at the blistering going on. Ooh, baby, it's looking good. And it smells wicked good. Cannot wait to eat it. This right here is the secret ingredient to amazing home fries. This right here. It's incredible. I'm going to be making some sweet potato home fries today out on the Blackstone because I'm going to take the pork belly and I'm going to use that as almost like a bacon. I'm going to throw it on an egg sandwich with some sweet potato home fries. It's going to be mind-blowing. But this right here. Oh, look at that. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh yeah, nice and crispy. Love it. All right, through our sweet potatoes with the Lane's Cubano seasoning on top with a little bit of vegetable oil. We're gonna let that cook up, get nice and should form a nice film on the bottom, like a nice crispy part. We're gonna flip it over. That way the center is still moist, but around it is getting nice and charred and cooked. So we're gonna let that cook. I'm gonna throw some eggs on this side of the Blackstone. We're gonna have ourselves an amazing dinner. All right, potatoes are looking great. My roll for my egg sandwich is toasting up nice. My egg is on. Beautiful. Cool. I'm gonna grab some cheese. I'm gonna throw some pork belly on top, right on here. We're gonna have ourselves a feast. All right, let's cut into this. Look at that. That looks so good. All right, moment of truth. It's like a sweet, tender, crispy bacon mixed with the egg and the cheese and the barbecue sauce. So good. You got to do this. Wow, that's amazing. Love it.